Hello everyone, welcome to the video. During this video, we are going to look at what's it really like to be a business analyst. So we'll do a bit of a day in the life of a professional business analyst. But before we do that, I want to discuss with you what is business analysis anyway, and why does it matter? Great, so let's jump in. So if we look at the agenda for today, I want to first of all talk to you about why does business analysis actually matter? Why is it important that we use it and that it's done well? And then we'll look a bit more about what is business analysis, and I'll use a fun metaphor to help you understand exactly what it's about. And then, of course, we'll look at the day in the life of a professional business analyst. Now, this is an important part of the video because it will also tell you, are you really cut out to be a business analyst? Because I've got a few key questions that you need to answer for yourself, and then you'll know whether you are meant to be a business analyst or not. But that's for later on. So business analysis is in fact the hidden hero of business success. But before we start with the video, I think it would be great to hear your thoughts. If you had to guess, or perhaps you know, a business analyst must be someone who loves a routine job, someone who understands finance, someone who enjoys solving puzzles. So if you had to pick one of those, just write in the comments below which one would you pick. Okay, great. Let's see what everybody says. But now let's have a bit of a conversation quickly about why does business analysis even matter? Have you recently received the Amazon package in record time? Well, I certainly have, and I've been impressed quite a few times by just how fast some of those packages can get to me. Now, that's because of supply chain, that's a supply chain that is optimized. And business analysts often have a lot to do with that. So business analysis is helping optimizing supply chains so that we can get our packages in time. It also helps to make sure that your journey as a customer, when you go and you buy something online, for example, goes really smoothly by looking at what is that journey and how can we optimize it and make it as seamless as possible. Business analysts are often involved in that process too. Business analysts also helps with fraud detection and prevention processes. They will get involved with making sure that we've got all the controls implemented if you specialize within that area. And again, business analyst gets involved with user experience optimization and process optimization. And then, of course, one of the big things we do as business analysts is we ensure that we all work efficiently. So when a business operates efficiently, you will know that they are definitely also saving a lot of money. And of course, complex business problems. That is the bread and butter of a business analyst. But let's delve into a bit more of what is business analysis specifically. So now that we've discovered a bit more about why business analysis matters and how it affects us as an end consumer, you can just start to imagine about all the different ways that you are experiencing technology or processes just as an end user or a consumer. And the reason it's so successful a lot of the time is to do with the work that a business analyst does. But let's now try and use a metaphor just to understand a bit more about what specifically is business analysis and what is our role as business analysts. Now, this might be a fun one, so have a look. Let's go to a crime scene. Okay, so here we are. We're at a crime scene. There's a detective at the crime scene. There is somebody who's clearly been, by the looks of it, really badly injured or potentially murdered. And then, of course, there is some signs that says do not cross. But what does this have to do with business analysis? So a business analyst plays the role of a detective in the business world. So just like the detective will start working out who and why and when and what happened in this particular crime scene, In a similar way, a business analyst would be presented with a business problem, and the role of the business analyst is then to start talking to people, the who and the why, understand why is this a problem, when did this start to be a problem, what exactly is the problem. So we are a bit like detectives in the business world. So in our world, the crime scene is effectively the business problems we solve. But now if we look at how exactly will a business analyst go about doing this detective work? So when we analyze business problems, we will do things like talk to our business stakeholders to really understand what their needs are. We will also go and analyze the current business analysis context so that you really understand exactly how does this business area work. And you'll do that by looking at things like how do they process things, exactly what is involved, what systems do they use, and so forth, so that you can understand the current environment really well. Then you will also analyze data and research information and find other sources. There are a very wide variety of different ways that you can do your detective work as such, where you really turn around the business problem, you delve really deeply into it, and you make sure that you get to the root cause of that problem. That's essentially the role of the business analyst, but it doesn't stop there. What we then do is we present our findings and our recommendations for how we could potentially solve a particular business problem with a data solution, process solution. People could potentially just be changed in what they do, functions could be changed, or a whole technology solution could be implemented. So we look at all these different aspects and recommend solutions as the detective business analyst. So typically we'll present our findings or our recommendations to the rest of the project team members, and together the project team comes up with a solution to propose to the business. And then hopefully the outcome will be that once we present our solution and recommendations, that the business will choose the best solution that makes the most sense for the strategic direction of the organization. And in our case, being a detective, hopefully it puts the right person in jail and it doesn't let that person get away. But this is just a little bit of a fun metaphor to help you see the analogy between a business analyst and a detective. So it's a fun role. It's just being that detective within the business context. So in summary, business analysts are really like detectives. We are presented with a business problem instead of a crime scene. We then analyze that problem just like a detective will analyze that crime scene. So we will do this by interviewing stakeholders about their business needs. We'll also look at their processes and their existing systems. And then we'll, of course, also look at their data, their information, and any other useful information that they can present to us to help us analyze their system. And finally, we'll present a validated business need or a validated business problem with our recommendations so that the business can make the right decision. So now that we've gone through this fun metaphor of being a detective in a crime scene or a business analyst with a business problem, let's look at a more formal definition of what business analysis is. So it's a systematic process of analyzing business needs, data, and information to provide actionable insights and recommendations for improving operations and achieving business goals. So hopefully now you can understand a bit more what specifically a business analyst does. And if you are brand new to business analysis, thinking about it like a crime scene and a detective will certainly help you to see the bigger picture within a business context. So I hope that was useful. However, now you might still wonder, so what's it like to actually be a business analyst? So let's now have a quick look at what it's like to be a business analyst on a day-to-day basis. So now let's jump into a day in the life of a business analyst. So One of the first things you need to know is if you're a business analyst, 99% of the time you will work as part of a project team. You can do this online, you can be in an office, or you could be doing a bit of both in a hybrid model. You can also be a business analyst practically anywhere in the world. So if you are working remotely, technically you can work from any country in the world and still be effective as a business analyst. However, business analysis is performed in pretty much all the different countries around the world in very much the same way. And I know this because I've spoken to people from more than 25 different countries in the world who work as business analysts. And trust me, we all do it pretty much the same way. And then you can practically work in any industry. And this is one of the very exciting parts of being a business analyst. You can, if you love variety, move around industries. But now, what do you actually do when you're a business analyst? So what would you be doing on a day-to-day basis? One of the big things that you will be doing is you'll be talking to a lot of business stakeholders. You'll also be spending time with your project team. A lot of that conversation would be around understanding and confirming what is their business needs. You then have to capture and communicate those needs. And this is where a lot of the technical capability of a business analyst would step in, where you're able to actually articulate exactly what those business needs are using different modeling techniques as well as some technical language. A lot of your role will be to research and analyze and then model processes and data. And finally, you can also be responsible to provide some insights and patterns to help decision making. So these are just some of the things that you will be doing at a high level as a business analyst. Now the big question, is business analysis still for you? So you now understand a bit more about the role of a business analyst and the kinds of things that you will be able to do, like how you would be able to work, where you will work, and with who you will be working. And also you understand a bit more about what exactly you'll be doing. But now the big question is, do you like a lot of variety? Do you like challenging business problem solving? So it's not straightforward business problem solving. There's a lot of detective work involved. Do you like working in a team? Business analysis is very much a team sport. And do you actually like seeing an outcome being realized? Which is sometimes you don't see that directly, but a lot of times you do. So this is very rewarding. And then the final question, do you like working as a change agent? So what I mean with change agent is, do you actually like to be the one that helps people accept change within the organization? Because you'll often be involved in designing what that change might look like. So please put your comments, put some of the answers in the box below. I'd love to hear what you think and how you feel a bit about what a business analyst is and whether you think you would like to be a business analyst. So in conclusion, business analysts are the detectives of the business world. They solve business problems and they recommend solutions. And a business analyst will require a very wide variety of technical, business, and soft skills to be successful. So more about that in a future video. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Talk to you soon.